And back to our earlier story now, where the Speaker of the Nelson Mandela Bay Council, Mr. Jonathan Lawack, was removed from his position. The motion to remove the Speaker was brought forth by UDM councillor Mongameli Bobani. The EFF seconded that motion, which then resulted in a vote. But let's get more on the proceedings out in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. We do have joining us Jayed Leigh Paulse, who's out in Port Elizabeth. Jayed, a very good afternoon to you. Take us through what transpired in that sitting where Mr. Lawack was ousted. And please tell us what reasons were actually given by the UDM on his ousting.
A very good afternoon, Alicia. It's been quite a very long day, I can tell you that much here in council. But this morning, council resumed. We saw Mongameli Bobani from the UDM as well as the EFF bring that motion of no confidence against Speaker Jonathan Lawack. The EFF actually seconding Mongameli Bobani with that motion of confidence. Thereafter, the Speaker then said, okay, fine, they will go to vote. And unfortunately, that saw him being removed. But the ringleader, or should I say the person who actually helped the opposition parties remove Jonathan Lawack was actually a DA councillor. But just to tell us more about what has transpired throughout the day, as well as taking us to where we are at this moment, Alicia, I can tell you now that council is still underway. The opposition parties do meet a quorum, and they are planning to actually vote in, or rather vote a new speaker. They apparently have a letter that has come from the MEC, that's MEC Fikile Xasa, giving them the go-ahead for that motion, or rather to vote in a new speaker, and ultimately also, or possibly vote out the Mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, Athol Cholo. But with me right now, I do have Bixon Dorney. He's the ANC caucus leader here in Nelson Mandela Bay, and he's just going to tell us about the way forward as well as the protocol with regards to this. Mr. Ndoni, thanks for joining us. Obviously, it's been a very long day. We saw the Speaker being removed from council, but where are we right now with regards to actually voting in a new Speaker, and does the opposition have a quorum?
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying immediately after the Speaker was removed from office, there was a controversy around Councillor Manyati, who was a DA councillor, who did not vote and abstained. And then thereafter, the municipal manager gave us a legal advice saying that on the basis of that advice, Councillor Manyati is no longer a councillor. There's a vacancy, declared a vacancy. We argued against that there was no vacancy. The council was in motion, and we're busy discussing council business. The municipal did not listen to that, and the DA councillors left the council meeting. They were very, very shocked. They left the council meeting. Immediately thereafter, after a few minutes, the municipal manager sent us a note saying that he is going to retract his position around the declared vacancy, because he got a second legal opinion that said that actually Councillor Manyati is still a councillor. So on the basis of that, we said we are going to continue the meeting, and a communication was made with MEC Xasa to say that this is a situation. The meeting was stopped. The municipal manager agreed that the first advice he got was not the right one. He was ill-advised, and therefore Councillor Manyati remains a councillor. Now, with all the numbers that we have here, we have Councillor Manyati as part of these councillors. We have 61 councillors, which makes the quorum, because the issue was around the quorum, that in the situation where Councillor Manyati is not a councillor, as they declared as DA, then we have no councillor. But contrary to that, the municipal manager said that he is indeed a councillor, and therefore the council must continue. Now, the MS is sending an official from his office to preside over this meeting, because all that was left after the Speaker was taken out, we're supposed to nominate and replace the Speaker and another councillor. So that official will do that job, and then we'll start the council in no time, and we're told that the official is on her way, and then the Speaker will be elected, and that Speaker will decide the way forward in terms of the council.
With regards to that senior official, is there any name as to who that particular person may be?
I think the name from our side as the ANC that we are putting forward is Councillor Mafaya, who's from the ANC, that she's going to be a Speaker of Council. And as soon as she's nominated and the House agrees, then she will take over. Then it's up to the Speaker of Council now to decide the way forward, whether to continue with the motions as were tabled here. There are a number of other motions that will follow. So the Speaker will decide. I cannot decide on her behalf because she's the one that is going to lead the debate and say that this is how we're going to deal with the matters. If she thinks that she can further apply her mind on the agenda, then she will do so. But definitely the Speaker will decide in terms of what we do from now on.
And Mr. Ndoni, just looking at those other motions, can you just break it down for us? What other motions would possibly be brought forward?
Following this motion of the Speaker, it will be a motion of no confidence to the Mayor. And then after the Mayor, it will be a motion of no confidence to the Chief Whip of Council. And also the other motion is the one that will rescind the decision that was taken by the DA coalition to do away with the Deputy Mayor's office. And then we put forward again a motion that says that that office must be brought back so that we have an office of the Deputy Mayor.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Ndoni. So there you have it, Alicia. Yeah, we're still waiting for that senior official to come through that was sent from the MEC of Governance, Fikile Tlasa, giving that senior official the powers to preside over this council meeting. As you know, the Speaker, Jonathan Lawack, has been voted out of council. It remains to be seen whether that senior official will preside over this and whether council will continue and that voting for a speaker will commence. And also with regards to those motions that Mr. Ndoni said, whether they would actually oust the Mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay, that remains to be seen. It's back to you in studio.
Well, Jayed, as you indicated earlier on, it's been a very long day, and with these motions still outstanding, I mean, it sounds like there's still so much to do. Just very briefly, is there any indication of how long these proceedings are still going to take place?
Well, as I can show you, in fact, let me show you, if Blom can just pan. Council is still underway. We've got several of the opposition parties still in attendance. We have the EFF still here, the AIC as well. So it remains to be seen whether that council meeting will take place today. Like I told you, we're still waiting for that senior official that was sent so that they can see if they can possibly vote for a speaker to preside over the matters. And ultimately vote in a speaker and as well as try and oust the mayor. In attendance, I can see as well that DA leader, Mr. Manyati, not DA leader, DA councillor, Mr. Manyati, also in attendance, sitting next to the AIC there. So he has jumped ship and he's with the ANC on that. But I suppose once that senior official arrives and they proceed with the council meeting, we'll be in a better standing.
All right. Thank you so much, Jayed, for that live update. Jayed Leigh Paulse joining us from Port Elizabeth. And we do understand there's still motions that are going to take place there. A motion of no confidence in a chief whip and a motion of no confidence in the mayor, Athol Trollip. And of course, they still need to vote in the speaker because the speaker was ousted earlier on this